All right, before we dive into this list, let's make something crystal clear. We aren't judging anyone who dates a bunch of people. As long as whatever happens between consenting adults, it's all good with us. With that being said, some fellas really know how to woo the ladies, or even woo the ladies, which must be tough with all of the body waxing, fake tanning, baby oil, and running around in your underwear. Or maybe that makes it easier and the rest of us are just missing the boat. At any rate, I'm Senior Siete for 7 Wrestling, and here's our look at the 7 most prolific ladies' men in professional wrestling. Now, if you like this video, please be sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Number 1, CM Punk. I don't think anyone would call Charles Montgomery Punk traditionally attractive, but we get it. There's something about a bad boy. One who will munch on muffins while burning the first actual competitor the WWE has had in decades to the ground minutes after winning their world title. And before he settled down with the love of his life, former WWE Divas Champion AJ Lee, it could be argued that the CM in his name stood for Chick Magnet. Actually, that's supposedly what CM actually stood for in his original ring name, Truth in Advertising. Now, before making the leap to the big leagues, Punk reportedly spent some time with former TNA mainstays Tracy Brooks, Becky Bayless, and Daphne. And once he made it to the main roster, he spent some time with Kelly Kelly, Mickey James, and Maria Kanellis. One of the interesting things about Punk's relationship with Kelly Kelly, aside from the fact that she was playing his stalker at one point, is that Punk is actually good friends with the man Kelly Kelly would go on to marry, NHL hockey player Sheldon Surrey. And as Kelly Kelly would tell Kevin Undergaro, Shell is really good friends with CM Punk. He lost a bet to Punk and had to get his symbol tattooed. So, my husband has a CM Punk symbol. Yikes, it's one thing to have a partner who has her former partner's name tattooed somewhere, but for your partner to have your ex's logo tattooed somewhere? That is next level. From there, Punk would date future Mrs. Edge, Beth Phoenix. The two even battled it out briefly in the 2010 Royal Rumble, with Punk eventually eliminating Phoenix. Adorable. He would also date WWE Hall of Famer Lita, who oddly enough also dated Edge. And oddly enough again, Lita was Punk's wife's idol back when she was a preteen. Aw, you really can grow up to be your heroes. There's a good message there. Number 2, Batista. Before he would beat up James Bond and Thanos the Mad Titan or Johnny Blade Runner, I don't know, I didn't see that movie, Dave Batista was the thumbs down and power bombing animal of evolution. And when he wasn't spine-bustering people through the mat, he was having some fun in his free time with some of the ladies of WWE. During his time there, Batista would have relationships with Rebecca DiPietro, Rosa Mendez, and Melina. There was a controversy at the time that Melina was dating Johnny Nitro, Impact, Elite, etc. However, in 2007, Batista told the Charleston Post-Courier, Melina and John weren't together anymore. He was always aware of what was going on, and she was very honest with him. They split up and moved apart, and we started dating each other. Batista also dated Kelly Kelly, who is 18 years his junior. However, there is no word as to whether or not her husband, NHL hockey player Sheldon Surrey, has a Batista logo tattooed anywhere on his body. Even after his WWE days were behind him, the animal would turn a Twitter flirtation into an actual date with Dana Brooke in 2019. So just slide right into them DMs. Number 3, Cody Rhodes. Adrenaline in my soul. Which girls dated Cody Rhodes? Open up the list and you will see. All right, that's more than enough of that. We're gonna hang a bit of an old rumor sign on this one, but the future American Nightmare was rumored to be in a relationship with the Glamazon, Beth Phoenix, during his early days with the company. Pictures exist of the duo together, but there is no verification that they were ever in a romantic relationship, which is a shame, because it gives us an idea for a feud. From there, he dated former Divas Search champion, former WWE Divas champion, and current Senior Siete fave Layla L for a brief period of time. All of this led him to the love of his life, his bride, and the mother of his adorable daughter Liberty. We're of course talking about Brandi Rhodes, who was a former WWE ring announcer. So yeah, maybe Cody was exaggerating when he said he was undesirable. Number 4. John Cena. The champ is perfectly comfortable dating his co-workers. Thugonomics isn't the only thing John Cena has a doctorate in. Apparently he's well-versed in game with the ladies as well. And one of those ladies, Victoria, was apparently married at the time, although, in his defense, the couple was separated. Victoria would tell F4W Online it was 2002. It was when we were both in Louisville. I was married but separated. John Cena was single. I was never his road girlfriend. I know that we were separated. My husband also dated a couple girls. From there, Cena's on-screen romance with Mickie James would reportedly turn into an actual off-screen romance, with James's then-fiancé Kenny Dykstra finding out and, as you would imagine, not being particularly happy about it. But ultimately, Cena would go on to date Nikki of the Bellas, propose to her in the ring at WrestleMania, marry her at SummerSlam, and then retire to a ranch to raise their 4 children. Number 5. Dolph Ziggler. Ziggs. Who doesn't love Ziggler? Of all the guys on this list, does anybody seem like a better time than him? He's handsome, he's ripped, he's hilarious. Amy Schumer dumped him because he was too good at making amore. No, really, in a 2012 interview with Howard Stern, Schumer said, "It wasn't bad, it just wasn't for me. The sex was too athletic. The first time I was like, oh, this is cool. Nobody ever ragdolled me." He was like spinning me like a globetrotter. I was like, oh my god, I felt so petite. It wasn't that crazy, but it felt like we were wrestling. There's a girl out there that will be so obsessed with him and psyched at all those events, but I wasn't that girl. That's okay, Amy. There are plenty of girls out there that like the Ziggs. For example, Twitter enthusiast Dana Brooke, Tammy Don't Let Me Behind the Wheel Sitch, and the mother of John Cena's 4 children, Nikki of the Bellas. Number 6. Ricochet. Speaking of athletic, did you know that Ricochet used to date former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion and American Ninja Warrior competitor Kacy Catanzaro? I mean, yeah, he dated Tessa Blanchard and is currently engaged to ring announcer Samantha Irvin, but Ricochet and Kacy Catanzaro. Whew. All right, sorry. got a little lost there. Maybe it's best if we move on. Number 7. Eddie Gilbert. As far as we know, Eddie Gilbert only dated 2 of the women of wrestling, so this might seem like a save the least for last situation, but you have to appreciate that Eddie Gilbert came up in a very different time. A dark time known as the 80s. There weren't rosters and rosters and rosters of women to choose from. There were like 5 women. And Old Hot Stuff married 2 of the top names. From 1987 to 1989, Gilbert was married to arguably the most desirable woman in professional wrestling, talking about Missy Hyatt. And a year later, in 1990, he married arguably the most gifted female wrestler in the United States at the time, Medusa Miceli. Some of you might know her better as Alundra Blaze. To put that in Attitude Era statistics, that'd be like marrying Sable and Trish Stratus in back-to-back years. Or in today's statistics, I just broke up with Becky Lynch so I can marry Scarlett. Hot stuff indeed. Well, that's our list. Did we forget any fellas who had quite a way with the ladies? If so, put them in our comment section below. If you had fun with this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and super kick that notification bell. Until next time, I'm Senor Siete for 7 Wrestling. Bye-bye.